Look at the ancient world's three foundational river civilizations: Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Indus Valley. We understand Egypt and Mesopotamia through their extensive written records. But move east to the Indus Valley, and that textual window slams shut. Their script remains completely undeciphered. This leaves us looking directly at the physical environment itself, a vast, sweeping river basin bordered by arid mountains, to understand how these people lived. Without readable texts, archaeologists have to reverse engineer this society's origins and its massive economic engine entirely from spatial anomalies and material artifacts. A silent script is not a dead end. It requires us to deduce the logic of a complex economic system purely from the placement of stones, the layout of streets, and the remnants of secondary crafts. The physical recovery of this civilization started with a massive miscalculation. In 1826, an explorer named Charles Mason stumbled across mysterious ruins in the Sahiwal district of Punjab. Mason concluded he had found the ancient battleground where Alexander the Great fought King Porus. He framed the ruins entirely through a Hellenistic, Western lens. That assumption held until 1861, when Alexander Cunningham founded the Archaeological Survey of India, establishing a formal institutional approach to the subcontinent's ruins. In 1872, Cunningham recovered a small carved seal. It featured an unfamiliar animal motif and a completely unknown script, proving these ruins belonged to a unique indigenous culture. This single artifact triggered massive systematic excavations 50 years later, particularly the 1922 dig in the Larkana district of Sindh. By stripping away colonial mythologies and relying strictly on stratigraphic data, archaeologists pushed the timeline of human history in South Asia back by thousands of years. This chart shows the chronology of the Indus Valley civilization. The early formative period, the pre-Harappan phase, stretches from roughly 3500 to 2400 BCE. This is followed by a shorter, highly concentrated window from 2350 to 1750 BCE, known as the mature Harappan phase. This specific window represents the absolute peak of urbanization in the ancient world. We know this because of the sudden explosion of secondary economic activities found in the dirt. We see advanced metallurgy, highly specialized crafts, and cities built from standardized baked bricks. The strict uniformity of these building materials across hundreds of miles of terrain requires a centralized system of weights and measures to enforce. The physical evidence proves the Indus Valley was a highly coordinated socio-economic superpower. The immediate question for archaeologists was how an urban network this complex actually originated. Did the Indus Valley develop this staggering urban logistics network entirely on its own, or was the blueprint imported from outside? Early archaeologists like Mortimer Wheeler promoted a diffusionist theory. They argued that civilization's core concepts migrated eastward from Mesopotamia to seed the Indus Valley. Later scholars like Gregory Possel and Shireen Ratnagar refined this idea. They linked the rise and eventual collapse of the Indus cities directly to the volume of foreign trade flowing to and from the Mesopotamian basin. Archaeologist D.K. Chakrabarty aggressively rejects this dependency model. This heat map visualizes Chakrabarty's premise. High-density raw material nodes, copper, timber, and stones, naturally occur within the Indian subcontinent, unlike Western Asia. Because of this, localized internal trade was mathematically far more critical to the Harappan economy than any foreign exports. If we follow Chakrabarty's data, we cannot view the Indus Valley as a Mesopotamian satellite. It operated as a self-contained, heavily networked engine. To map that internal network, we start on the coast of Gujarat, tracking the Bhagavo and Sabarmati rivers to the site of Lothal. Lothal was engineered to be the civilization's premier maritime and manufacturing hub. The site is packed with industrial remnants, massive brick dockyards, ivory weighing scales, and factories turning out precisely drilled carnelian and stone bead necklaces. Move inland to the Gaga River basin, and the economic focus shifts entirely. Sites like Kalibangan and Banawali served as the agricultural powerhouses. At Banawali, excavators uncovered rich deposits of high-quality barley alongside clay models of agricultural plows. Banawali also features a severe urban planning anomaly. It lacks standard drainage. Unlike other Harappan sites, its streets are laid out in parallel lines that refuse to intersect at right angles. The sheer contrast between a coastal factory town like Lothal and an inland farming grid like Banawali proves the Indus Valley operated as a web of highly specialized, interdependent hubs rather than a uniform, repetitive monoculture. This specialization extended into their cultural and religious practices. Consider Rocky Gari in Haryana, the largest recognized Harappan site within present-day India. Here, archaeologists uncovered unique ritualistic architecture. The city features prominent fire altars built securely on top of high, elevated brick platforms. Further north along the Sutlej River sits Ropar, a site that holds historical weight as the first major excavation conducted in post-independence India. Excavations at Ropar revealed highly specific burial anomalies. Human remains were interred directly alongside domestic dogs. The site also yielded heavy copper axes, signaling a localized hub for specialized metallurgy. From the elevated altars of Rocky Gari to the unique burials of Ropar, the physical record shows a civilization that tolerated massive cultural diversity, provided it integrated into the broader economic machine. All of these regional strengths culminate at Dholavira, the absolute apex of Harappan urban engineering and survival logistics. Dholavira's defining feature is its water management. The city is built around an intricate, master-planned system of 16 massive stone-lined reservoirs. This city of lakes captures peak resource management. It allowed a dense population to thrive and manufacture goods in an otherwise brutally arid environment. It also deviated from the rigid norms found elsewhere. For instance, graves in Dholavira face in multiple directions, ignoring the strict north-facing alignment standard in other Harappan cities. The network funneled immense wealth here, evident in luxury pink vessels, intricate shell bangles, and elaborate gold ornaments. Its 2021 inclusion on the UNESCO World Heritage List serves as a modern validation of its status as an unparalleled, self-sustaining ancient metropolis. When you zoom out and link Dholavira to Lothal, Banawali, Kalibangan, and Rocky Gari, you see a single, pulsing economic organism. The sheer scale of this domestic infrastructure decisively settles the debate between early diffusionists like Wheeler and modern archaeologists like Chakrabarty. The Indus Valley was definitively fueled and sustained by its own internal resource management, not by foreign influence trickling in from Mesopotamia. And we know exactly how this massive macroeconomic network functioned without being able to read a single word its architects wrote. The Indus Valley civilization proves that monumental economic power and urban brilliance do not require a written legacy to leave a permanent mark on the earth.